Hi, welcome to our live stream. This is our quiz for the week. Our topic this week happens to be finance. Yes, finance. So I hope that we will have fun with this. These questions are designed for us to have the opportunity to practice English in a way that is not so serious. You don't need to have the answers or to know the answers. That is in order to feel like, you've accomplished something. That's not what the point is. So if you get things wrong, that is not a problem. It's all about just enjoying ourselves. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so it's about just having fun, using English, not having it be such a serious situation. We've already got 7 people here. That's very, very cool. Hey, Alessio. Hello, Yuki again. Mohammed, are you in a different location? No, same location, exact same one. Hey, Nick here. All right. Hello, Omar. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to have you back. Yeah. So let me get the first question going. We can hop into it. Hello to you, Nick, third time. And I will scoot over here and ta-da, our first question of the day. And just so you know, this is going to be a mix of questions like how to save and different saving sorts of topics. And also we'll travel to South Korea, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, and Italy. So if you happen to come from one of those countries, please stick around so that you can help me and say, yeah, that's true, or that's total baloney. Let me know. All right, number 1, how often should you review your budget? Once a year, after every major purchase. C, regularly to adjust for changes in income or expenses. Or D, when you're short on money. And so when you're short on money, it means you do not have a lot of money. I'm short on cash. You'll hear people say a lot. Maybe they have a credit card, but they don't have a lot of cash. I'm short on cash. I can't pay you right now. It can mean literally cash or money. I haven't been in a long time. Thanks for remembering me. Of course, Omar, of course. So Kelowna 1 is C. Alessio saying C is the correct answer, which, this is kind of one of those that, it's pretty logical, right? So yeah, so everybody's correct. And adjust, I have in pink here, meaning that you alter it, you change it, you adjust it. You do a slight adjustment or a big adjustment. When you change something, then you adjust it. Yeah, okay. So everyone is correct. Regularly to adjust for changes in income and in expenses. Some things to consider when you budget your money. Income changes, fixed expenses. So like rent, insurance, subscriptions. The answer is C, Mohammed. Thank you for being here and for guessing. Or you were here already. You asked if the background was different. Yeah, so those are fixed expenses. They don't move. Usually your rent is the same price every month. Your insurance, your subscriptions, if you pay $9.99 for, let's say the EWA app, then that amount doesn't change. It is fixed. Variable expenses, all right, that these are expenses that do change. They vary. They are variable expenses. So this would be like utilities. So electricity, water, gas. It would depend on what the price is for that at the moment, or it would depend on maybe how much you used, for example. Savings goals, debt payments, unexpected expenses, spending habits, and such. All right, let's move on to number 2. And I think we're heading to South Korea. Okay, so maybe, I don't think that we have any South Koreans with us at the moment, but yeah, we need to grab Mike here and see if he can help us out, what he says. If I could call a joker. So, hey, Natalia, dear. Hello, Juan Carlos. Welcome, dear. Okay, so in South Korea, what do people spend money on before a job interview? Is it A, like Lucky Charms, like a little sort of thing that you can wear on your neck, like a charm that hangs down, or on a bracelet, or some sort of fancy something, like have a stone or something? Designer suits, cosmetic surgery, or career coaching? What do you think? So Renit's going with D. Yuki's going with D. Let's see. We have all of our regulars here right now, it looks like, or most of them, except for Michaela Lorena. She's, yeah, on the road. Oh, Michaela, there you are. Okay. So Kaluna's going with C. Yuki's going with C. We have some D's. We have some C's. The answer, evidently, is actually C, cosmetic surgery. I was so surprised that is, I don't know if somebody's from South Korea, please let me know if this is correct or not. But, a little, pulling up, I don't know, it sounds good to me. I was kind of surprised. New suit made sense, Lucky Charm made sense, career coaching, but okay. So many job seekers invest in minor cosmetic surgery. So maybe not like a full facelift, but maybe like some Botox, or maybe some sort of filler or something, or some sort of facial, to boost their confidence and to make a strong first impression. It's common to savor these procedures, and families support them. South Korea is a cosmetic surgery country, right? I think it's probably, I don't know which country in the world where cosmetic surgery is so important, but I know that they have a lot of medical tourism for cosmetic surgery. Which got me thinking, because I was like, I wonder if like cosmetic surgeons earn a ton of money in South Korea. And so I started looking at the highest paid professions. So the answer is C, Natalia, cosmetic surgery. And so surgeons, neurosurgeons, they get about 800,000 per year. Oh, I think this is, So in the world, surgeons earn the most money. And CEOs, chief executive officers, actually depends. Like the starting salary is lower than a surgeon, but they can earn more later on. An anesthesiologist, ooh, that's a hard word to say. An anesthesiologist. This is the guy who, when you go in for surgery, he puts you under so you don't feel anything. They earn a lot of money. Then it was an investment banker and a data scientist. Which one do you think was in the 6th place? This is this top 6 highest earning professions in the world. Which one do you think was number 6? This one super surprised me. So who is this? So we had number 1 is surgeon, neurosurgeon, 2 chief executive officer, anesthesiologist, investment banker, data scientist. All of these sound kind of reasonable. Number 6 blew my socks off. I've also read an article that South Korea has a high beauty standard, right? I think they do, that even middle schoolers consider some minor surgery. Yeah, I think they put a lot of pressure on beauty. They also have cosmetic surgery before matchmaking. Okay. Yeah, when we were there, people were beautiful. Oh my gosh, in Seoul, so gorgeous. Appearance is important, but same in Japan. Same in Japan. Appearance is important. Our cosmetic surgery but cosmetic surgery is extreme in my opinion. Yes. So neurosurgeon was number 1, KB. Welcome to you here in our little lesson. So yeah, neurosurgeon was number 1. Who do you think was the 6th? Who is the 6th highest earner around the world? So this is not just in South Korea. I just kind of went on sort of like a little down a rabbit hole. And I was just kind of curious who earns a lot of money. Neurosurgeon is number 1. CEO is 2. Anesthesiologist is 3. 4, investment banker. 5 is data scientist. And 6 is a pilot. Pilots earn the highest. A commercial airline pilot can earn a lot of money. But you're sweet. Artist. Yeah, I think if you're a famous artist, but I think many artists are struggling artists. I think is quite often. Those that make it, really make it, Juan Carlos, I think you're right. But sixth place is a pilot. So if you are looking for a new career, be a pilot. Go into being a commercial airline pilot. I was so, I mean, I get it. There's a lot of responsibility. But yeah, I mean, that's a good profession. So 1 and 4, I'm not sure. YouTuber. Yeah, not this YouTuber. This YouTuber's in the red. She's a brokey. Yeah, anyway. So let's move on to number 3, and we're going to Saudi Arabia. And I'm not sure, I think, Omar, you are from Qatar, so you won't be able to help us. And I don't think that we have any other Middle Eastern students with us, at least not today. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But we're heading to Saudi Arabia. And this is kind of fun. Oop, I need to get rid of variable. I'll do that in a second. 3. And get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so in Saudi Arabia, why do people spend money on luxurious gifts or meals for others? Oh, good, KB. Yay, we have a Middle Eastern man in the house, or person. I'm not sure. All right, awesome. So number 1 and number 4 from the choices. Okay. I'm not sure which one, number 1. Mohammed, which question? I'm not sure. Help me out. Anyway, in Saudi Arabia, why do people spend money on luxurious gifts or meals for others? Is it A, to celebrate business success, B, to be popular, C, to show hospitality and to honor guests, and D, as part of wedding dowries? What do we think? Okay, I've got a lot of C's. Kaluna, Juan Carlos, KB, we're going with C, to show hospitality and honor guests. And that is correct, which I thought is nice. I wonder what they give people. Like, what would be a gift? So like, so our Middle Eastern friend, KB, somebody comes to your house, do you give them a gift? If so, what do you give them? And my question to all of you, everybody's correct. Yes, it's C. And my question to you is, in your country, do people usually give gifts to guests, or do guests typically bring gifts to the host? And what kind of gifts are common? So several questions here. In your country, do people usually give gifts? So you go to someone's house in your country, do you bring them a gift? If so, what? Or when you go to someone's house, do they give you a gift? And if yes, what? B, to be popular. The answer is supposed to be C, to show hospitality and to honor a guest. So what is gift-giving culture when visiting someone? In the States, you bring a little hostess gift. It can be some fancy marmalade, a bottle of wine, some flowers. Those are some typical things you bring to the hostess. It would be unusual for me to offer someone a present when they come to my home. And so, yeah, so not Middle Eastern at all. I find that very interesting. So if y'all want to answer anything more to that, that would be great. If you would like to answer it in the comments section, once this has been saved later on, that would be great as well. If you don't want to answer that, that's fine too. It's no pressure system here. So let's see. So I'm not sure if you're still writing, you know if you're coming to Egypt. I don't know. I would love to come to Egypt. It's definitely on my list. Both. I bring a fancy sweet to a host. And Yuki, when we were in Japan, we went to a lot of different grocery stores because we are like you. When you travel, it's so great to go to grocery stores because you get a good feeling. And I was surprised to see in some of the fancy grocery stores, So fruit that was wrapped up, like you would have a melon that was wrapped up, or you would have it in sort of fancy packaging. And it was like, an expensive thing to give to someone. In Mexico, it's not common to give gifts, but sometimes we do, but we are very cordial. Yes, I'm sure you are. We give a gift such as a bottle of wine. So you bring it to the hostess. It's not that you give a bottle of wine like in the Middle East, then or in Saudi Arabia. That was in Saudi Arabia, people then give things to people. When the host invites, the visitors can bring small gifts or food, but you are not obliged to do so. Your presence is highly appreciated. Okay. Also pastries. Ooh, yeah. Definitely. Italian pastries and wine, both. Okay, so let's move on. And I have a question because some of you said in our live stream, which I thought was really nice, that it's important to not forget to treat yourself when you're dealing with financial matters, to kind of keep that in mind. And this is a question that revolves around that. So let's see. Here's number 4. Natalia, you may be odd. Which is odd. I'm not sure what that means. That fruit basket is usually for a family memorial service. Oh, okay. Okay. So then if somebody passes away, you would bring that. Okay, thank you, Yuki. So what's a good rule for treating yourself while saving? Okay, so number 4, never spend money on non-essentials. And we just had the word essential. I live in Germany. Yes, I do. But I happen to be from the United States. I think that's your question. I don't know. Let me know what you have to say. All right. So, and we have the word essential. These are things you absolutely need. We need food. We need clothing. We need shelter. We need water. Those are essentials. They're necessary, something that's really necessary. Non-essentials, I don't know. Shampoo, makeup, things like that, I guess. Kind of essentially to me. You answered it. All right, got it. I'm glad I did. Yuki, fruit basket is normally mostly given when you visit a patient, like in a hospital. Okay, so B, budget a small amount regularly for treats to avoid feeling deprived. And I've highlighted the word deprived because this is a good English word. This is again kind of like giving you an extra sort of little for vocab. If you're deprived, it's when you don't have something, you're lacking something, you don't have enough of something. I can be sleep deprived. New moms are totally sleep deprived. You hear that term used a lot, meaning they don't have enough sleep. And so in this case, if you're always saving, then you can feel deprived from enjoying things in life. Yeah. And then C, spend only after saving at least 50% of your income. D, use leftover money after paying bills and saving. So whatever you have left over, that is what you can treat yourself, use to treat yourself. So Kaluna's going with D. Yuki's going with, KB is going with B. And maybe this is, slightly a personal question, but there is a right answer. And let's see, Yuki's going with B. Exactly. So we have to budget a small amount regularly for treats to avoid feeling deprived. And maybe if you budget it like for treats and you have something in mind, like you say, oh, I really want these new pair of shoes. So you're splurging. So splurge is a nice word. When you spend a lot, when you do a lot, when you give a lot, you splurge. And so you can splurge on something, you can spend a lot on something, but if you have a specific object in mind, then it's not just whatever, I'm just going to do this. It's really specific and you're saving for it, which I always find is a nicer thing anyway. I love saving for something. I'm one of those people that if I fall in love with like an expensive cup or something, if I buy one every month, I'm super happy. or one every other month. I like to earn things. So yeah, it works for me. Most people just want to buy it and have it done, but I want what I want. So I will save for it and sacrifice for it. I always need a cheat day. Yeah, right? We all kind of need a cheat day. Exactly. Exactly. So cheat financial day. All right, let's move on to Italy. So Michaela is here, and I think Alessio, yes, Alessio is here. So nice that you're with us, Alessio. So happy to have you here. Let's see. No, I thought you would be out and about. So let's see. We're on number 5, heading to Italy. So you folks need to tell me if this is crazy or if this is true. But in Italy, what is a daily habit many people spend money on? Is it A, espresso at cafes, B, gelato at night, C, pasta making classes, or D, designer sunglasses? So which is something that is kind of like built into the culture, is something that people do quite frequently? What can you tell me? A, B, C, or D? Kalina saying A, espresso at cafes. All right, Juan Carlos is saying D, designer sunglasses. Michaela, our Italian, is saying A. Yuki is saying A and B. Okay. Natalia's going with A. So the answer evidently is A. That people typically go to espressos and to a cafe, and I guess espresso, the plural of espresso is espressi, excuse me. Alessio is guessing A. So what I read, and please, Alessio and Michaela, correct me if I'm wrong, that people go and have multiple espressos every single day at different cafes, or maybe the same cafe, but it's not that you just go in and you have one, that you have several throughout the day. I think that's lovely somehow. And when I was in Italy, I was in Rome years ago, and there's this one little cafe, and they had espresso, and then they had the freshly pressed pomegranate juice. And it felt like that was just something that people did every day. And so I was kind of curious what people typically spend money on in Germany and in the United States. And I feel like what ChatGPT came up with is pretty good. Like in Germany, baked goods. Germans go to a bakery almost every day, if not every day. Bakeries are a big thing. You buy your fresh Brötchen, so you get your fresh bread, you get a pastry of some sort, just because eating gelato during winter is not that popular. Aha, okay. But in summer, you would maybe do both. Yes, that's correct. I love that. I think that's such great culture. I love that. But yes, so in Germany, baked goods, people spend money on that, I would say, pretty much every day. Fresh bread is so important. What about in your country? What would you say that people spend money on? And in the US, ChatGPT came up with spending money on coffee. So I'm thinking Starbucks, that people go and get Starbucks every day. That sounds pretty cliche and pretty accurate. So yeah. So what about in your country? They can also, can be spring water. Okay. B and C. So the answer was A. I think, Mohammed, you're a little bit behind us now in our lesson. The answer was A. But what would you say? Like, if you could think about, for me in Germany, every day, Germans are at bakeries. You see people carrying around their little sack with their Brötchen or with a little pastry in it. People eat it every day. In Mexico, for sure, it should be tacos. Really? Every day? Okay, cool. So tacos in Mexico. Coffee in the United States, but Starbucks coffee, and espresso in Italy. What have we got in other countries? What can you tell me? Would you say something that people it's just something people buy every day? Maybe it's a specific newspaper. Maybe it's, I don't know. If you can think of something. I know this is one of those questions where if you have an answer, then it's great. And if not, you're kind of like, So if you think of it later on and you want to write it in the comments, then please feel free to go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we will continue on to our 6th question. So let me grab that real quick. All right. So how many months worth of expenses should you ideally have saved in your emergency fund? So if you want to have a fund, which they say that you should, I don't have this because I live what we learned in our last lesson, paycheck to paycheck. I live month to month. But yeah, so how many months worth of expenses should you ideally have saved in your emergency fund? If you want to be a practical, pragmatic, smart financial type of financially driven person, then should you have 1 to 2 months of extra money to be able to cover all of your expenses. So think of how much money you earn in 1 month. You would need 2 months of that, or 3 to 6, 7 to 9, or 12 months or more. What would you say is the correct answer? What do financial advisors suggest? Office workers tend to spend money buying canned or bottled drinks, by vending machines, or from cafe every day. Okay, Yuki, when we were in Tokyo, and actually all over Japan, we saw vending machines for drinks everywhere. And I never saw anyone buying anything. In that wonderful movie, The Perfect Day, I think that was called The Perfect Day, he used it every day. I was so excited because it was finally someone using it. But so I was convinced nobody uses those. But okay, maybe I just was not around at the right times to see people use those machines. But I saw them everywhere. You have drink vending machines absolutely everywhere in Japan. Yeah, okay, so good. Yeah, that's the perfect example. So what would you say, A, B, C, or D? How much money should we save up if we want to plan and be financially sort of pragmatic about things? How much should you have saved up as an emergency fund? Just in case something happens, you can't earn money for a specific amount of time. How much should you have saved up? Kaluna's going with B, 3 to 6 months. Okay. What else have we got? Anybody else want to take a guess? Here come our answers. Okay, C, an office vending machine is everyone's favorite. Okay, so they don't want to go outside. All right, so let's use saying C. We have, so Kaluna saying B, C, C, B, B, B. All right, so according to whomever, I don't know, I don't have any of this sourced, but 3 to 6 months should be a nice buffer that you're able to sort of, if you lose your job or something happens, that you can be able to afford your life for 3 to 6 months. And then you have a nice sort of buffer. This is a good word. I don't know if I have that in there anywhere. Buffer is sort of gives you some comfort. It gives you a little bit of space so that you don't have to stress so much. An extra padding, extra room, if you will. Buffer. What did I do with it? It's taking it some time. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is being weird. So 3 to 6 months is the correct answer. And my question to you, what are some things that should be calculated, what are some things that should be taken into consideration when calculating how much your emergency fund should be? So what things should you think of when you're thinking of how much money? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 things. Let's see if you can guess them all. But you want to calculate your emergency fund. Which expenses should you take into consideration? Buffer zone. Exactly. Yeah, thank you, Natalia. Buffer zone. Yeah, you have this extra sort of area in between you and whatever it is. Yeah, you have a buffer zone. So, okay, so health. So health insurance, most definitely. Insurance, health insurance, definitely. That's something, the expenses that go along with that. That's one thing. I have six other things. Rent, definitely. Food, mortgage, bills. Yes. So food, mortgage, bills, groceries, and food. Absolutely. Here, I'm going to screenshot this so I can make sure that these get taken off properly. Okay. So you said rent and mortgage. You said groceries and food. We said insurance, health insurance, car, health, and home problems. Okay, I guess it's kind of like, should anything happen in your home? And car, I'm going to say transportation, like how you're getting around, car payments, fuel, public transport, anything like that. So communication, Yuki has utility expenses, exactly. Electricity, water, internet, definitely. And I guess communication, maybe Yuki, is other necessary monthly payments. So your phone bill, your Wi-Fi bill, those kinds of things. And maybe credit card payment, utilities, definitely, and credit card payments. Okay, you've covered it all. Way to go. So those were all the things that we should think of when planning our budget. Moving on to number 7. And I think we're heading to Argentina. So I think Gracie is unfortunately not here. And we had somebody else from Argentina too, I thought, that comes regularly. Children's necessities, definitely. Taking trips can be, yes, okay. Some other expenses to take into consideration. All right, in Argentina, evidently, what kind of lesson do people typically spend money on? So this is a lesson that people would spend money on, and it would be pretty typical for people to do. Would it be a public speaking lesson, B, cooking traditional dishes, C, learning Italian, or D, tango, taking a tango lesson? What kind of lessons do people typically spend money on? And my little follow-up question will be, what lessons are popular for people to spend money on in your country? So what do people typically spend money on? So Yuki is saying D, tango. Any other guesses? So Kalina's going with D as well. All right. Any other people guessing? Otherwise, I will say, okay, Natalia's going with D, Juan Carlos is going with B, Michaela D, question mark. So for those of you who guessed D, you are correct. Tango, evidently in Argentina, it comes from there. So it's really important for people to take those kind of lessons, to take dance lessons. And a lot of people, I guess, can do the tango. And what about in your country? What kind of lessons would you say that people typically take in your country? I Googled it as well for the United States and for Germany. Yeah. So unless you, yes, exactly. It was D, tango. So in the US, classes that people take, this is I definitely agree with. Yoga, Pilates, very popular in the United States. Those are pretty classic. So sports lessons, a lot of Germans are into language lessons. Yeah, so I used to take Argentine tango class at which university? Yale University. Open campus. Ah, fun. When was that? Hello to you. Welcome to our lesson. And maybe you can tell me where you're from, and anybody who wants to say what kind of lessons people often take in your country. We've said that in Argentina that people take tango lessons. In the US, people spend money on yoga and Pilates a lot. Learning foreign languages. So for you in Moldova, Natalia, and then maybe you have other ones that you'd like to share. Fitness lessons, yeah. So is yoga and Pilates big as well, Natalia? What can you tell me? All right. And while you're answering that, so wellness, yes, not a lesson, but money well spent. I'm going to go get my face polished on Thursday. I'm very excited. I love microdermabrasions. Soak up your face. Okay, formal education, language lessons. Okay, Nick, what kind of language lessons do people take in Myanmar? What can you tell me? All right, moving on to our next one. And where are we headed? We're headed to credit scores. Ay, ay, ay. So number 8, oops, sorry, let me go back. And let me find our credit score slide. Okay, so what is the recommended maximum credit utilization ratio to help maintain a good credit score? Now, I had no idea what that is. So, Yale University. Okay. A typo. Cool. That's so fun. All right. So Yale University. Very elite. All right. So let's see. So what is the recommended maximum credit utilization ratio to help maintain a good credit score? So if you want to have a good credit score, you have a credit card. A lot of people said they like paying with credit card because they can collect points. It's easier. There's a lot of good things with paying with using a credit card. And so, yes. So Kaluna Singh C, question mark, below 30%. C from Alessio. Any other ones? Okay, C is the answer. And I'll read you. Yes, Michaela. So if you have a total credit limit of $5,000, okay, this means you can spend up to $5,000. But if you spend $1,000 of that $5,000, your credit utilization ratio is 20%, which is good for your credit score. So you should be under 30. So you could be 28, you could be 25. So below 30, so that you're not maxing out your credit card. This shows the credit card lenders that you're not relying too heavily on credit and that you're managing your money responsibly. So, yeah. What are we doing here? I'm not understanding. Can you please help me? So these are English quizzes that I offer every Tuesday. And our topic today is finance. And next week, it will be a new topic. If you look on my account, you will find lots and lots of different topics that I offer every single week. And this is for non-native speakers who want to learn English and to practice online and an international community. So I hope that helps. So so let's do this. Let's say, because I find credit cards scary, because I have so many friends in the United States that are completely, oh, you understand, good. So I have so many friends who have so much credit card debt. So for me, credit cards freak me out, but let's maybe come up with a couple of advantages of using credit cards. What are some advantages? And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 6. I have 6 different advantages for using credit cards, I guess, instead of cash. Like, it's more of like an instead of. You're welcome so much, Ethereal. So what can you tell me? What are some advantages to using credit cards? One, for example, is, let's see, so you can build a credit history. If you keep your credit score low, you don't use it for lots of things, you can be able to have a good credit score. So later on, if you want to go to a bank, then maybe it helps you to be able to borrow money to pay for a house or something like that. It shows that you are financially capable of managing your money. So that's one thing. Rewards, exactly, like rewards and benefits, cash back, points, travel miles, or discounts. You missed to tell which university you studied fashion as we know. I studied at Woodbury University. That's in Burbank, California. That's where I studied. So, so one thing, so build credit history, rewards. It's easy, right? It's super easy to use a credit card. You have purchase protection so that if someone steals your credit card and and buys a lot of things, then you are protected. So that's a good thing. And sometimes you can track your spending easily because you can see where everything is, where the money went off. You get your monthly statements. Let's see. So, and you have a grace period. You usually don't have to pay it right away. Emergency flexibility, that's on my list as well, can be used for unexpected emergencies when cash isn't available. Less hassle. Yeah, convenience. Absolutely. Yes, easy. Spending is so easy. A little too easy. All right. Okay, cool, guys. Yeah, exactly. Those are all super valid reasons. We're moving on to 9. And Yuki, you are not spared in this. We have Japan coming up. And I feel like I've asked this before. So please forgive me if I have. Also for security, exactly. Like if you take cash on a holiday and someone robs you, it's gone. If somebody takes your credit card and spends things, then you still have that money. You don't have the card, but you have the money. So there is security in traveling, especially with a credit card. So in Japan, people often buy, fukubukuro, during the new year. During New Year, that should not be a question mark. What are they? Are they A, bags of rice given as gifts? B, mystery bags sold? C, traditional shopping bags? Or D, expensive handbags used in weddings? So what do we think that fukubukuro is? Any guesses here? Do we think A, B, C, or D? So Juan Carlos is going with C, traditional baskets, so beautifully woven baskets. Kaluna thinks C. Any other guesses that you can think of? What other guesses can you think of? Or any other guesses do we have? Otherwise, I'll just tell you. All right, so evidently it is B. They're little mystery bags that you can buy. So evidently they're lucky bags. Yuki's saying V. Alessia is saying V. So we're definitely going with Yuki's answer. I'm going to highlight Yuki's answer. A friend, call a friend Yuki. Yes, exactly. Yuki's our joker here. So Yuki, please tell us what is inside these mystery bags. I'm so curious. And evidently these lucky bags are sold at a discount during the new year and people buy them. And I am so curious. I could have Googled it, I guess, but I wanted to ask you, Yuki. I wanted to bother you and Chama and say, what is inside a Fukubukuro New Year bag? Like, how big are they? Or are they paper sized? Are they really big? What is inside? Are there toys? Is it clothing? Is it edible stuff? What is inside this? Are there little good luck charms? It's New Year's, maybe fireworks. If you can let us know what is inside of that would be very cool. And do you buy them? I'm actually curious if this is something that you buy. There are a lot of times things that people say that classically that Americans will purchase or Germans purchase, and I'm kind of like, no, I don't. So maybe Yuki, you're not one of the people who actually purchase these things. So while anybody who knows anything about Fukubukuro bags, if you know anything about them, then you're more than welcome to contribute. I'm going to head on to number 10, to something I learned about in a book I just read. Let's see. Which I'd heard about, but because, as you know, I have no idea about money, I didn't really know what it means. It is $100 bag. That's a lot of money. Usually items in it worth more than that price. So like, what kind of items would be in there? I mean, $100 is a lot. And would there be some items, so plural, so more than one thing is inside the bag? And is it like cosmetics, perfume? Is it, do they have men's and women? Sorry, I can Google it if you like. You can just simply say Google it, Jen, and we can Google it now. All right. Warren Buffett is famous for saying that compound interest is one of the most powerful forces in finance. What on earth does he mean? Does he mean A, you earn interest only on the money you first invested? B, interest rates never change? C, you pay interest on your savings? Or D, you earn interest on both your original money and the interest that has already been earned? Okay, this is, so in Islam, credit cards are not allowed. Okay, to use, I need my magnifying glasses a lot. Actually, maybe I'll take a picture. I'm really cheating now. Hold on one second. For some reason, I can't see this text. So I will do this. And Alessio, I know this is your game too. All right, so in Islam, credit cards are not allowed to use because the interest in Islam against the interest of bad inflation for people being under depression because of the upper high interest. Okay, so in order to not have so much interest, then yeah, it's against that. I guess it's against borrowing. You should spend the money you have and you shouldn't spend money you don't have. Is that kind of where that goes? You should think about this if you are interested. I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. Spend the money you have. Don't use a credit card and spend money perhaps that you don't have. Okay, so let's see. What do you think? Compound interest, where are we going with this? Our kind of first and last technical term of the day, compound interest. Warren Buffett, he's a famous billionaire. He's kind of a cool guy, actually. I don't know if you know of him. He's really famous in the United States because he's a billionaire and I don't know, he just does things differently. He's very down to earth. He lives in a pretty small home, a home he's lived in for the past 30, 40 years. And he drives an old car. He eats junk food every day. He's like Mr. like non-flashy. So, okay, Alessia's going with D. Michaela, our finance lady, is going with D. Electric shops sell bags which are filled with electric supplies. Aha. So Yuki would be electric shops fill it with electrical goods, cosmetic shops with cosmetic goods. Does it depend on the shop? Everyone's going with D because you all know way more than I do about finance. So yes, it's the interest you earn interest on both the original money and the money on the original money and the earned money. Yes, aha, thank you, Yuki. Okay, so that's it. You go to a specific shop. If you were to go to Sephora, I guess, a cosmetic shop in Japan, then you would have the option of buying a bag for $100, but it would have cosmetic goods for maybe $200 or $300. Fun, but that's a lot of money though. I don't know. I'm a brokey. So the dilemma is the interest. Hold on, hold on. Mohammed, I'm gonna have to take a picture again, sorry. I'm able to somehow do this without, the dilemma is the interest. Let me show you, many Americans are paying their loans with triple the loans that is not allowed in the Islamic perspective. Yes, what's going on in the United States is out of control. I get what you're saying there, that in Islam, you're not allowed to have so much debt. And it's smart. It's definitely smart. I mean, I think people should be able to choose, but it's definitely the more financial savvy way of dealing with life. Gets you into less trouble. Spend the money you have. Don't spend what you don't have. Pretty simple. All right. So yes, so that is our quiz for today. If you do not follow this account already, go ahead and do so. You can find us here. I will go live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. That is 2 hours and 20 minutes earlier than wherever you are right now on this planet. It will be the second half of our live stream about finances. So it won't be like today. It's different. We will have vocabulary and idioms and questions and all kinds of stuff, but definitely worth a shot if you're looking for a community where you can improve your English every single week with a nice international community and learn stuff and practice your English and come make a bunch of mistakes with me. I make them too. But yeah, anyway, I hope you have a lovely day. And I thank you very much for your time and for showing up. We had a nice audience today, as always, but also in numbers. Thank you, Alessio. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Kaluna, same to you. See you tomorrow, dear. Thank you, Michaela, for the idea with finance. I hope I'm doing this okay. So thank you. Exactly. The price is very there. I got it. So coffee shop sells bags with coffee, coffee beans. Chicks, what are coffee chicks? I'm not sure what that is. Bye, Juan Carlos. Nice to have you around as well. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Take care. And yeah, if you don't mind, if you could like this, we have 16 people here. If you could just like this live stream right now, then that would be 16 people that, already have liked it. My content's kind of going nowhere here on YouTube, and I think that kind of helps. I don't know. That's not too much to ask. Bye, Natalia. Bye, Nick, dear. Thank you, everyone else who's kind of in the background just watching and not gained the confidence yet to write. I hope tomorrow you will come and you'll come and chat with us all. It's always a blessing to have everyone here, and it's never kind of a thing where if you make a mistake or say something wrong or so that it's weird. We're all here to help each other. So take care. Ticket. Ticket. Okay. I don't know. All right. Thank you. Bye.